Do you want to save more money each month? Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? It's time to take a hard look at your monthly expenses. Saving money isn't just about having a safety net, it's about creating financial freedom. By reducing your monthly expenses, you're not just putting money aside, you're freeing up funds to invest in your future. So let's explore the steps you can take to start this journey. Stick around to find out how you can start reducing your monthly expenses today. First, you need to understand where your money is going. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's easier said than done. But believe me, it's not as difficult as it seems. The key to understanding your expenses lies in a simple yet crucial habit: tracking your spending. Imagine this: you're on a diet, trying to lose some weight. Would it help if you keep track of your daily calorie intake? Of course it would. The same principle applies to your finances. By keeping track of your expenses, you can see where your money is going, and it gives you a clear picture of your financial health. So, how do you go about it? Well, there are many ways to track your expenses. You can go old school with a pen and paper, jotting down every penny you spend. But in this digital age, why not leverage technology to make things easier and more efficient? There are numerous budgeting apps available that can help you streamline your expense tracking. Some of these apps can link to your bank accounts and credit cards, automatically categorizing your expenses for you. You might be surprised at how much you spend on things like coffee, eating out, or online shopping. And these apps can provide that wake-up call. But remember, the goal is not just to track, but to understand your expenses. Are you spending more than what you're earning? Are there any unnecessary expenses you can cut down? Are you saving enough for your future? Yes, it might be a bit overwhelming at first, and you might not like what you see. But remember, acknowledging the reality is the first step towards change. You can't fix a problem if you don't know it exists, right? So take some time, dig into your expenses, and understand your spending habits. It's like taking a deep dive into your financial ocean. And who knows, you might discover some hidden treasures, or in this case, potential savings. Once you know where your money is going, you can start to make changes. Have you ever thought about how much you could save by cutting out non-essential expenses? Let's dive right into it. We all have those little pleasures that bring us joy, like that weekly sushi takeout, the monthly magazine subscription, or the impulse buys that somehow always find their way into our shopping carts. But when you add up all these non-essential expenses, you might be surprised by the total. Dining out is one of the biggest culprits. Sure, it's convenient and fun, but those meals can add up quickly. Consider cooking at home more often. Not only will you save money, but you'll also have control over what goes into your meals, which is a bonus for your health. Subscriptions are another area where you can save. It's easy to sign up for various services and forget about them, but those monthly fees add up. Go through your bank statements and cancel any subscriptions you don't use regularly. Switch to free versions or share subscriptions with friends or family. Impulse purchases can also drain your wallet. Try to resist the temptation of sales and only buy what you need. Create a list before going shopping and stick to it. If you see something you want but don't need, give yourself a cooling off period. Wait a few days, and if you still want it and it fits into your budget, then consider buying it. One helpful tip is to use cash or debit instead of credit for these non-essential purchases. It's easier to keep track of your spending, and you'll think twice before parting with your hard-earned cash. Remember, it's not about depriving yourself of all fun and enjoyment. It's about making smart choices and understanding the value of your hard-earned money. Small changes can make a big difference over time. By cutting down on non-essential expenses, you've already taken a huge step towards reducing your monthly expenses. And remember, every dollar saved is a dollar that can be invested towards increasing your monthly income. Even essential expenses can be reduced with a bit of effort. Now let's dive into those pesky essential expenses. These are the costs that keep our lives running smoothly. Things like groceries, utilities, and the roof over our head. They might seem fixed, but with a little creativity, we can make them more malleable. Let's start with groceries. A common misconception is that eating healthily is expensive. But with strategic meal planning, you can eat well on a budget. Plan your meals around seasonal produce, which is often less expensive and more flavorful. Consider buying in bulk, but only for items you use frequently. Don't forget to make use of your freezer, storing leftovers or pre-prepared meals for those evenings when you're too tired to cook. Next up, utilities. Switching to energy-efficient appliances and light bulbs can bring down your electricity bills. Unplug devices when they're not in use, and consider a programmable thermostat to manage heating and cooling costs. Even small changes, like taking shorter showers, can add up to significant savings over time. Finally, let's talk about that big-ticket item, rent or mortgage. This might seem like a fixed cost, but there's always room for negotiation. If you're renting, consider asking your landlord for a rent reduction in exchange for signing a longer lease. If you're a homeowner, consider refinancing your mortgage to take advantage of lower interest rates. And remember, reducing your essential expenses isn't just about saving money. It's also about making conscious decisions to live within your means and prioritize your financial health. So start small. Pick one area to focus on first, whether that's meal planning, switching to energy-efficient appliances, or negotiating your rent or mortgage. Over time, these small changes can lead to big savings. Reducing essential expenses might require more effort, but the savings can be substantial. And remember, every dollar saved is a dollar that can be invested, bringing us one step closer to financial freedom. Avoiding debt is another key step in reducing your monthly expenses. It's like a pesky leech that sucks away at your income, leaving you with less to cover your needs, let alone save or invest. But just like a leech, it can be removed and avoided with the right knowledge and actions. So let's dive into how debt impacts your monthly expenses. When you have debt, a portion of your income must go towards paying it off. This means less money for your living expenses, savings, and investments. Moreover, the longer you take to pay off your debt, the more you'll pay in interest. It's a vicious cycle that can keep you financially stuck. Now, here are some strategies to help you avoid falling into the debt trap. First, consider using cash instead of credit. It's easy to overspend when you're swiping a card, but cash can make you more aware of your spending. Plus, you won't have to worry about interest charges. Second, if you do have debts, make it a priority to pay them off quickly. Think about it as freeing up future income. The sooner you pay off your debts, the sooner you'll have more money to put towards your expenses, savings, and investments. Third, avoid unnecessary loans. It can be tempting to take out a loan for that dream vacation or the latest gadget, but ask yourself if it's really worth the added debt. Remember, the goal is to reduce monthly expenses, not add to them. Lastly, it's important to have an emergency fund. This can help you cover unexpected expenses without resorting to debt. Start by aiming to save 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. It might seem like a daunting task, but every little bit helps. Avoiding debt not only reduces your monthly expenses, but also gives you peace of mind. It's like cutting off the financial chains that hold you back, giving you the freedom to pursue your financial goals with confidence and ease. Reducing monthly expenses isn't just about saving money, it's about taking control of your finances. Let's take a quick walk down memory lane. We started our journey by understanding our expenses. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it's the power to control where your money goes. We looked at our expenses, identified those that are essential and those that aren't. Next, we targeted non-essential expenses, those little luxuries that we can live without. Cutting down on these can free up a significant chunk of change. It's not about depriving yourself, but rather choosing wisely where your money goes. Then, we moved on to essential expenses. Even here, there's room for maneuvering. Can you switch to a cheaper grocery store? Maybe renegotiate your internet package? Small tweaks can lead to big savings. And finally, we explored the importance of avoiding debt. Remember, debt is like a hole. The more you dig, the harder it is to climb out. Avoiding it means you're not throwing away money on interest and fees. So there you have it. Reducing monthly expenses is about more than just saving money. It's about making strategic decisions that put you in control of your finances. It's about setting yourself up for a secure future where money is a tool, not a stressor. Start reducing your monthly expenses today, and you'll be on your way to a more secure financial future.